Members, I said I would draw a line. I think once again, an excellent debate tonight on the subject which we all knew people wanted to talk about. And I will say as chair, and the reports we've had from officers has been excellent. And reading the 166 pages, which members, more likely have done, very, very interesting, and some very, very good points. I mean, I know the area, which I'm sure you know, as I touched on just now, the Tivoli Brook, and I can see concerns there. But what we've got to remember, and this is me saying it to yourselves, members, is that everything has and is being looked into. There's been some very, very valid points made tonight, and the concerns about affordable housing, I understand it's not all about me, it's about yourselves. And I'm sure the officers, well, I know the officers do what they can on all that side of things. Councillor Hart, you have a very good point there about, years to come. Some of us might not be here, well, won't be here, but again, a very valid point. So I'm going to put this to members. Obviously, I have no right to ask how to vote, and I think you all know that. But please consider what has been said to us all tonight. In that light, as I say, I'm coming to yourselves with the officer's recommendation, which is to defer and delegate for approval. And remember also that items will come back to the planning committee at different stages. So for those who are watching us on screen, which I'm sure there are still, members know how this works. If you are for the motion, please say so. If you're against, say against. If you're abstaining, abstain. So I'll go through the members. Councillor Coleman-Cook.
For.
Councillor Alban.
Against on principle of affordable housing, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Alban. Councillor Bayford.
For.
Councillor Curry.
Abstain.
Councillor Dennis.
Abstain.
Councillor Garner.
Against.
Councillor Hart.
On principles, I think I've got to go against.
Councillor Patmore.
Against.
Councillor Paulmore.
Against, Chair.
Councillor Rozeski. Councillor Rozeski.
Yeah, sorry, Chair. I'll go for it. Thank you.
Councillor Scott.
Yes, Chair. In light of all the information proceeded today, I still, in no good faith, can support this. I'm against, Chair. Thank you.
Councillor Wright.
Against.
I am for it. I believe that motion has been lost. It has. Right. I've got to come over to Ian.
Thank you, Chair. So members have outlined specific concerns, primarily with regards to the provision of affordable housing on the scheme. I think that's probably the through line reason. Obviously, we've looked at a number of the other concerns and talked about those in a bit of detail. What I would say in terms of the point to do with affordable housing is that obviously from the evidence that's been presented before us, if affordable housing is to increase, as I said, that will decrease the contributions to other things. Now, that is a decision that members can make. They can look at that as an option. It is for members of the planning committee to decide what are the priorities of the district when it comes to what's secured as planning obligations. But there is obviously that is what would happen. Now, this site is an allocated housing site. It is bringing forward significant infrastructure. And so my recommendation, given that we are in a situation where affordable housing is the through line, is that what would occur is that the application would be deferred back to officers What we would do is we would speak to the applicant, we would work out alternative scenarios with regards to the affordable housing provision, whether or not that's possible. Now, we did this before with the Sanderson Grange application, and we presented a few different options. It didn't increase the amount of affordable housing, but it provided different options. Now, we can look at an increase in the provision of affordable housing to some extent, but what that will do is it will decrease the other contributions that will be provided. And obviously that does have its own natural knock-on. But I think given that that is a specific through line, that my recommendation to members would be to defer it back to officers to look at alternatives with regards to the provision of planning obligations, specifically in relation to affordable housing. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for that, Ian. Members, you've heard Mr. Livingston's recommendation. I know that it is from an officer, which I will accept. I need a proposer for that, so it does come back for you further discussion on what you've heard. Could I have a proposer, please?
I'll propose that, Chair. Councillor Rashevsky.
Thank you, Councillor Rashevsky. A seconder, please.
I'll second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Bayford. Once again, I will have to go through your names. If you agree, please say so. If you are against, say so. And if you're abstaining. Councillor Common-Cook.
4.
Councillor Orban.
4.
Councillor Bayford.
4.
Councillor Curry.
4.
Councillor Dennis.
4.
Councillor Garner.
4.
Councillor Hart.
4, Chair.
Councillor Patmore.
4.
Councillor Paul Moore.
4.
Councillor Rashevsky.
4.
Thanks. Councillor Scott.
Abstain, Chair.
Councillor Wright.
4.
And myself, I'm 4 as well. Members, that has been carried. And obviously, we will hear the outcome and whenever that will be. So thank you, members. Again, thank you, officers. That concludes this meeting this evening. One thing I would like to say before we close, this, I believe, unless we're going to be throwing another meeting in before the council's AGM in May, but I believe, obviously, members know that committees change and so forth and so on. I don't know where, I think you know what I'm getting at. Things do move around at AGMs. But I would like to say, and I mean this, I mean, I know most of you personally,